Hey everybody, it's Micah Mitchell with Membarium, and I'm here with Jamal Miller, who is the CEO of Miller Media Group, and he's also the founder of marriedandyoung.com. He's in the relationship niche, which is really cool. It sounds like we've got a couple things in common, but Jamal, thanks for coming. Thanks for being with us, man.
Absolutely, Micah, man. I appreciate you guys, all you guys have done, for the membership site world, and it's so awesome to be able to be pulled in to go deeper into what we've been able to create. So I consider it an honor. Absolutely.
Well, cool, man. And I remember you came onto an office hours call maybe like a month ago, and you were just so excited. And I was just like, yeah, I got to interview this guy. So let's jump right into it. Maybe why don't you give us some history, like about yourself, first of all? So just a kind of an overview of your personal history and your company's history would be great.
Awesome. So I am like the most unlikely person to be doing what I'm doing right now today. If you would have asked me 3-4 years ago, I've been like, what? What does that even, entail? Just online business, marketing, just the whole gambit of it all. 4 years ago, not 4 years ago, about 6 years ago, man, I'm about to date myself. I graduated, with a degree in theology. So I was fully headed down a path of being a full-time pastor and full-time ministry. During that time, my majority of my schedule was filled up with speaking and, traveling the country. I moved here to Chicago and I became an associate pastor at a church here in Chicago. But, being in ministry, you don't make a lot of money. And so this led me, into getting a part-time job, working part-time at the church, part-time at a nonprofit organization. What's cool, during that time, I was absolutely single. Ended up meeting my wife, getting married, but we met in a very unconventional way for the Christian world. We met on Facebook, and it was just one of those people were like, oh my gosh, like, how did you guys, we were complete strangers, y'all, complete strangers. But because we did meet on Facebook, people started asking us how it worked. What was the process? What was the journey? And this led us to recording a video of our entire process, put it on YouTube, and you all know how that works. And we call it the Facebook Love Story. That video goes viral. After we got married, people started flooding the YouTube channel. Hey guys, are you guys still married? What's going on? And that's when I was like, babe, we got to create something to take these people along with us on this journey. And that's when we created marriedandyoung.com. Had no idea, about blogging. I never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, but I just got this idea. And what's cool is I actually Googled, family blog, marriage blog, and a bunch of blogs popped up. But one that was key was, he's now my business mentor, Lamar Tyler. He created a blog called blackandmarriedwithkids.com, a marriage blog. He's actually pretty familiar with you guys over at Membarium. I mean, he's been involved in some of your, he has a site as well. And so he's the one that I was like, during my time of figuring out who to go with, you guys know there's a lot of choices for membership site platforms. He was the one that pushed me to you guys. And so, so we got connected. He started kind of leading me along the blogging world. And man, from there, the rest is history. And now 3 years later, I'm still a pastor, but now I'm fully, able to serve my church. But I'm also, we're doing multiple six figures, multiple brands. We exploded, in our growth. And the membership site is one of our earmarks now for our business. So that's a little backdrop on me.
Gotcha. Cool. So how did you pick up any of the tech? Like, are you technical or no, or?
So, man, that's people I ask all the time, man, I've built every one of our campaigns, all of our sequences, Facebook ads. I've done it all, right? Man, I'll be honest. I guess, like, when it comes to self-education, when I know I need to learn something to get to an end, I do what I have to do, right? To learn it. And so the tech things, like, I would, for our first website, I just got a template and built it, what I'm saying? Like, and figured it out and got enough just to get going. But when it got down to where we are now, man, I outsourced everything, right? But I can definitely say, we had no money. We invested $0 basically into our business. So to be able to go in 3 years with no money invested, no education about this, it just really shows that it's possible as long as you have hit a niche that is definitely profitable and you create systems to consistently turn people from fans into customers, right? And so, so that's been the key thing for me. I learned, everything from Ryan Dye to Amy Porterfield to Michael Hyatt. I'm now involved in the Elite Mastermind with Ryan Levesque with the Ask Method. So I've definitely done my share of investment now into my education to be able to be where we are today. So that's what I can say. I mean, when it comes to the knowledge, the tech stuff, I mean, you can outsource, you know, but all in all, like the ability just to know how it all works has just been me just consistently investing into myself.
Nice. I love it. And I love that your business isn't just like, oh, we saw this market opportunity and we went after it. Like, it's so organic. It sounds like it's cool.
Very organic. It was just simply a passion of me and my wife's, man. I mean, we love relationships. We believe that the key to seeing our world turned for a better good is seeing more healthy relationships, more healthy couples, having healthier marriages. And so because of that focus, man, it's been an amazing drive, right? And at one season, I kind of got so focused on money and, and I saw that wasn't the motivating factor. It was seeing couples be successful in marriage. And when I started to focus on that and figuring out whatever I got to do, I think it was Jeff Walker that said something that would just turn my whole mind in marketing. He said, when you have a product that can change someone's life, your job as a marketer is to do everything in your power to persuade and convince them that your product will help them. And whatever you got to do it, you do it. And that question, I was like, do I believe in my product? And how much do I believe in it? And so if I do believe in it, then I don't need to be afraid of selling as much as I need to sell to get them to get on the other side, because I know what will happen to them. So for me, man, like that concept, like really got into me. And that's when I became a master salesman. and so that's today.
No, that's cool. And it sounds like you're listening to a lot of great people. And yeah, if you go deep into that stuff, and really almost if most people were just to follow any of that stuff and actually do it, mostly all works, right? Good stuff. So, so side note, I'm glad you're really high energy, because I was up since like 1 a.m. prepping for this early morning thing. And so I'm really glad, we can work with that. But maybe, can you do me a favor and show your screen maybe, and let's have just a look, like maybe you can just walk us through at a high level of your site, show us what your members see a little, and explain why you did what you did and how it worked.
So a lot of our education framework definitely comes from Tribe with Stu McLaren. I didn't take his course, but I was able to get a lot because I'm an elite mastermind, and he did a workshop for us. And because of that, I was able to really pull a lot of the key concepts of what it takes to have a successful membership site, right? So for us, this is built. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah.
So this is built for singles. And so the thing for us was creating a roadmap. So what we call it is the single success path to marriage. What are the stages that it's going to take for you to go from singleness to marriage successfully, right? And so what we did was, as soon as they enter in and they log in, welcome back to your dashboard. We have a welcome video here that basically walks them through, what they're entering into. And then we're going to go into FAQs, and, that's basically, all that good stuff there. But here's our main dashboard, right? So what we've done is our main content is broken into stages. So they're going to go to and when I click here, that'll take us to the main content. I'll walk you through that in just a bit. But from this dashboard, they can do stages. They can go to the Facebook group, prayer requests, member directory, which is, built off Buddy Press, and then the members lounge, which, that basically allows them to see all the updates from Buddy Press and what people are posting, as they're going through the stages and the content. And then we haven't finished this one now. This is bonuses, where we'll be taking content and taking them through some extra information, right? And so, and then from there, we go down into once a month, we do a life mastery class. So the concept there is we don't want you to know how to love, just know how to love. We don't want to teach you just how to fall in love. We also want to teach you how to live, right? And so this is an upcoming one where we're teaching the ladies. Clearly, the majority of our audience is 70% are women. So this is an upcoming life mastery class where we bring in an expert in some form of something that's more practical, right? This one's going to teach them how to do hair and makeup tutorials. And this is a live class that will happen just for our members. But here's where we have all of our previous life mastery classes. And clearly this is all about being able to keep something fresh in your membership site for your members to be excited about each month as they're continuing to pay their membership fees. So this right here was, we did a life master class on finances. We did a life master class on how to cook. I did one on how to master your time. So this is on top of our stages. And as we continue to go, this is just 7 stages, 28 courses, over 100,000 singles helped, 1 spouse waiting for you. So I'm going to take you back up to our stages, our main content that our members go through. So this is, so we have a 7-stage framework. And so each stage has a various amount of courses inside. So I'll just take you through, right? So stage 1 is just called Pursue. And for that, we lay a foundation for our members that the first stage you need to go through is your relationship with God, establishing a relationship. So each of them have a P. So stage 1 is Pursue. Stage 2 is Past. Stage 3 is Purpose. Stage 4 is Persevere. Stage 5 is Prepare. Stage 6 is Position, and then Practice. And what this is doing is basically taking them from our recommended process of you being able to go from completely single to us now helping you find someone, and then also helping you date and then successfully get married, right? And so when our members do come in, they do begin at stage 1. And each stage has, I think, right around, some have like 6, 7 courses inside. And when I say courses, our courses are no more than each one, like each, so you'll see here, that's an hour, and then that's an hour, right? Before I go into that, is there anything you want to ask with that part right there?
So when you say that each stage has multiple courses, do you mean LearnDash courses, like multiple LearnDash courses per stage?
Yes, LearnDash course. So we use LearnDash, as you can see, for our, to hold our courses, right? So each stage has multiple courses that they have to go through in a synchronized order in order to be able to go on to the next stage.
Gotcha. So no, yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so this is stage 1. This is probably our lightest stage because we want them to kind of get a quick win. We don't want to overwhelm them in stage 1. We want them to feel like, wow, like this is going to be, but then once they get to stage 2, it can get pretty, it gets really in depth. It's about, I'll show you how many we have. Let's see how many we have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, courses inside of stage 2. And each, once you go into the, you select the course, and then it takes you into the videos, and each video has an intro and its own respective lessons, and then the outro, right? And so, and all the videos were shot right where I'm at right now in my basement studio. We had different instructors come, and different ones locally that I know to come and teach. So I didn't do all the courses myself. We did have guest instructors. So even for this one, this is a guest instructor here. I can show you the video. I think I'm not sure how loud, but this shows you an example of our video.
Hey, welcome back. Let's get started. How to heal from your past, a path to a new beginning.
So I just give you a quick example of a guest instructor, someone that we brought in that's, that we made, that was an expert in that topic, and be able to use them for, and then here are the comments. We do allow them to leave comments, as they go through the content and engage with one another. And we do ask in each video that our instructors give them call to actions, hey, in the bottom, post here, and this kind of just really builds even more proof. Because honestly, I think a lot of our members will go in and they see a lot of comments. They know that they're about to get some good, serve some good content, right? So that basically is how each course flows. So right around, I think we have right around 30 of those. So that would be, if you think about it, about an hour course, it's right around 30 hours of content. Now, one thing we did do that was pretty crazy, when we launched, was we filmed all of our content right away. And so as soon as they got in, the first group of people, they were already, every stage had a full slew of courses inside in order for people to be able to make sure that, if you went through all the stages in a month, you will be able to have all the content there, right? Clearly, the way we created it, we have a lot of homework they have to do after each stage in order to complete it. So we knew that it takes people about a month per stage. So what we've done is we really marketed you know, hey, you don't want to pay for the monthly, you want to go ahead and pay for the year, you know. And so we really market strong that 1 year membership, paying that 1 year fee to go ahead and lock yourself in for the year so you can be able to give yourself time versus being rushed, you know, to go through the content each month.
No, I love it. And there was a lot of little nuggets there that you're dropping all over the place that I hope people are picking up on. A couple follow-up questions for you. One question is, throughout this process, do you do any sort of quizzing? Like most people who use LearnDash use that, but I didn't see it. Do you do any of that, or was it not necessary?
Definitely something for our next stage, a level of taking this to the next level is really using the quiz function, but also even submitting papers, you know, whether it be a quiz or submitting a paper. We definitely want to get our members having to follow up with, you know, that form of commitment to the information they're receiving, making sure they're getting it and not just listening and hearing it. And so that is something we're definitely want to implement, but we haven't done it yet.
No, it's perfect. A lot of people actually get hung up on that. You know, they'll make their content and they'll think, oh, I need quizzes and stuff. So I'm actually glad that you said that. Like, not having quizzes is no problem, especially since you have a working site and people are going in there, right? So yeah, I love that. And I actually, go ahead.
We got it. No, I was going to share, you know, we've kind of been on this for now almost 5 or 7 minutes, and we haven't shared the thing that makes so much more authority to this is that we were able to get 834 members in 2 weeks. You know, and when we closed enrollment with 800, and then we did a January open enrollment, and now we're over 1,100 members inside. And we only had, I think it was right around. I think it was right around the time that we went from the November launch to January. We only had lost like 62 members, and so which is pretty amazing, you know, from what I've learned and what I've heard from other membership sites. And I won't say that it's our content; it's definitely our community. So that right there, I can tell you straightforward, is people come for the content. You sell them on the journey and the process you're going to take them on, but they definitely stay for the community. If you know how to create a community that supports each other, that is walking with one another through this journey, and that gets each other, you will get people like someone in our community said, and remember, we're doing this for singles. They said, I'm going to stay in this community even after I'm married. Yeah. You know, and so that's the kind of community that we've created. And I can tell you now, Micah, that was not something that was a part of the plan. I knew it was something we needed and that it was essential, but I didn't think that it would be such a win for our membership site to the degree, you know, that we've already done a major upsell to membership groups, mentorship groups, you know, where we're charging $500 every 3 months if you want to be a part of a small group mentorship to be led by one of our community managers. So you can really be able to get that supportive help, because when you're in a Facebook community of over 1,000 people, it can be a bit challenging to feel like you're getting that personal help. But hey, for $500 for 3 months, you can get into a personal group. And because this community is so dialed into each other, they love it. We just filled it. I think we have 2 groups that just launched, and I think we're already over 20 people that's paid, you know, to get that upsell and go into those mentorship groups. So that shows you how powerful membership sites are, because now you have your own, like we have our own breeding ground of upsell customers, and we can take them deeper and take them into our world. And so yeah, that's a whole nother teaching, but.
No, it's beautiful, dude. I love it. You could probably just, roll this whole time and it would be valuable. So really, genuinely, I love it. And I was going to actually touch back on, the fact that you have those comments running under the video. And you're saying that kind of social proof / belonging / anticipation of good content was a big key, right?
Absolutely. It's one of those where they know that others have already enjoyed it and been changed by it. Because I know for me, when I go, and I'm reading these comments as a consumer, it's, I know for me when I did blogging, it was just like, man, that first thing I did sometimes would read and see how many comments were on there, so when you see that each one like starting up, this is so deep. Wow. Never heard this broken down like this. So detailed. Thank you. If that's the first comment you're seeing, you're like, oh my goodness, like I can't wait to dive into this. A person, especially someone saying I've never heard something said it like that, right? So it brings so much validation to the content, but it also continues to build anticipation for the other. And this is on all of our videos. This is not just, this one. This is on all, and so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I believe you said, and I just want to make sure everybody caught this, that you tell your instructors to make that a call to action in every video. So those comments are not accidental, right? You're soliciting those.
Very intentional. So as a call to action, we wanted them to feel a part. Hey, post at the bottom comment at the bottom what you got from this. And if they're not doing it there, I'll be honest, the membership lounge is the only thing that we're kind of seeing that, is this working for us? Is it not? Only because our Facebook community is so electric, so I haven't even checked. But the fact that Autumn posted, at 3 hours ago, and this is 19 hours ago, is still showing, that people are still posting in here. But honestly, our Facebook community is where really everyone hangs out, and so, but clearly there's still a lot of, life going on behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? And not in Facebook. And I know a lot of membership sites that struggle to get, people commenting on their, on their, inside the platform, and so that's been cool for us. I don't even check this. This is my first time seeing this in months.
No, gotcha. Well, and so before we talk about this, I do want to also reach back and address something right at the beginning when you were talking about, not just the origin story of your product, which is really cool because it's original, but you have a really, it seems to me, like very pure and genuine intention for your users. And so that's one of the things people overlook quite a bit is, yeah, I mean, you can have all the gimmicks you want. You can ask for comments all you want, but it starts with having a really, really, good intention for your clients so that your content comes out so that they want to comment, right? And that's what I'm seeing here is just like, yeah, this whole thing seems on point. So let me ask you this. What was one of the more challenging parts of building this for you?
Challenging. Man, that's a great question. Because I'll be honest with you, like you just said, because we hit something that was such a need in our niche, it just flowed right out, and we care about our audience. I was my audience at one time. My wife was my audience, and all of our instructors were or still are our audience. And so we get it, right? And we get the struggle of desiring something that you don't have, but then also the fear of getting it and not being ready for it, that whole world of it. And so when you understand your audience, it really does help you to have a better membership community, because that's what it is. It's a journey, and you're taking your customer on a journey with you. And so and I can tell you, for me, one of the probably most challenging things is just the end of, man, I'll be honest, it's the decline cards. It's, cards declining, and, knowing how do we work this with that process of getting them back and canceling them because they didn't pay, their card failed. And, that's one of the big challenges we're running into now is, with over 1,000 members, we're looking at a $4,000 to $5,000 gap between what we should be getting and what we are actually getting because of declined cards. And this is not cancellations; it's people simply not having the funds in their account. And so that's a big one, a big challenge. Another one would definitely be, just the creating sequences that can continue to take the bottom of our audience, continuing to go through it. Clearly with over 1,000 people, you're going to have the bottom of it they're not dialed in, that are not connected, but you're still taking their money. I don't want your money if not getting change. So it's creating sequences that can continue to take them through and remind them, hey, you did not, we haven't seen you log in a month, 2 months. What's going on? We want to see you jump back in, log in. Hey, get this content. It's going to change your life. So for me, I know I need that, but it's getting the time to create those sequences and lay out a 12-month plan that can be automated so people can get a reminder email once a month, or triggering when a person is not inside. So I think it's knowing that we have the capacity for something and not being able to do it, or not knowing how to do it or not having the time to do it, can be a bit challenging, and so, when I go to MemberBM and I see all the components and all the different short codes, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's so much we can do. But it's like, okay, where do we start to make this even a better, robust platform?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize my seat was squeaking like that. But
you're good.
Yeah, it's a cool problem to have, like the billing problem. It's annoying as all get out, but it's like, okay, we have subscriptions, we should be grateful, but dude, billing them is a mess. And yeah, those sequences to get people re-engaged. I remember with the membership site I'd made, I had an opportunity later, like a live setting, to ask them how that worked for them. And most of them had told me, yeah, I would have never got through your content if it weren't for all those emails, like bringing me back kind of a thing. So it's funny because at the same time, there's so many best practices that I'm not doing, you know what I mean? So I know how you feel. It's like, yeah, we got to do more. So it sounds like you follow a lot of cool people, and it sounds like you know a lot of the best stuff. Is there anything on your site that you would say is pretty unique, or like, the most unique thing about your site?
That's a great question. I think the thing that would be, pretty unique, possibly would be possibly our Facebook community and what we do in there. And so we have different, every week there's a theme happening in our Facebook community and our on the membership site. So once a week, so the first week of the month, we do a evening prayer night, where all our community would come together and we take prayer requests, and I call them out. We get on, and that's pulling on the pastor in me, being able to really take these people on a spiritual journey, as well as a relationship journey. So once a week we do prayer night, right? Second week we do accountability night, where we have everyone come and just share and be accountable with where they are, and just get on. And we're just like, man, this is where I'm at. 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 Right. And then the third week is a bye week. We just do something random that week in the Facebook community, something, just throw out something out, whatever we're feeling. But then the fourth week is our life mastery class. So I think I haven't really seen that, right? Having a theme, something our community can look forward to every week, and it's consistent, and it's not just spontaneous, right? And so that's pretty cool. Most of the time for that bye week, we usually do like a spontaneous Q&A on a particular topic, So one thing I can say is having something every week, that your community can be excited about, and that always be able to push them back into your content, into the membership site, is so essential and so key. I know for most people, they build membership sites and they want it to be, drip and automatic, and they leave it alone. And it's just like, nah, for us, man, what keeps us living and what keeps this thing alive is the members know, when they get in, they're not only just getting a bunch of content, but they're getting me and my wife, and our team that's very dialed in. Another thing that we do once every Monday morning is we send out the word for the week, and it's our weekly newsletter. But in it, we have a word for the week, something for them to embody, to take with them throughout the week to ponder and chew on. And as well, we have in that newsletter, we do a word for the week. And then as well, we do top members. And, you can get that stats from Grytics or social graph. So those give us some stats of who are the best engaged people. We celebrate them. Hey, this is, Jasmine, this week, man, you commented on over 40 people's statuses inside the community. Thank you so much. We celebrate you for being a part and engaged. Hey, Amber, it was amazing. You shared a post that over 103 people liked. You were the most influential member this week. Thank you so much for your commitment to the community. So we put those pictures in the newsletter, and then we go down and we also have the top posts for the week, and we are able to share to everyone. These are the posts you don't want to miss. You know what I'm saying? So these are things we're doing on a consistent basis to continue to keep our members, engaged and excited about what's happening here.
You know what, that's so smart, because some people, they spend a lot of energy doing parts of what you're doing, meaning I'm going to put out content every week, or I'm going to touch base, or I'm going to do these things. But I love the fact that you put a theme around it, because it keeps it fresh and different. It lets them know you're thinking about them, and then it helps them like focus together as a group. So just a lot of the group, and I'm sure some of it's from Tribe and whatnot, but yeah, your implementation of it, the term that keeps coming to mind is just like spot on. It's just so funny to hear you say it. It's like, wow. And for people listening, like I've had this thought for a while anyways, and it's just tickling my brain talking to you that this is why, this is the difference between successful memberships and those that are not successful. It's not just like that it's good content. It's that you're into it enough to do that maintenance work that builds an actual business and an asset and a tribe and all those things. So it's cool to hear. I'm just digging your excitement.
Absolutely, man. And that's why I say going into it, I knew this is exactly what my business needed. But I had no idea it would be this successful and it would change the trajectory of our business. But what's so powerful is, man, I'm taking this same framework, and because, I've been so committed, and we're projected to do 1.1 million this year in our business, between all of our brands and all of our different programs and our conferences, our membership site. And and I love it. If you're familiar with Ryan Levesque, whenever he did a dial into our membership site and just seeing it, we ran a lot of this was done because of the Ask method, because I learned I needed to put our customers into segments, right? And that's what he, is the guru on, right? And so one of the things that he said, he's like, man, you're on the money train, because, like this thing is like, all you need to do is get a funnel that consistently pushes people in, and there's no reason why you won't be at 5,000-10,000 people easily. So one thing we're doing right now is we have closed enrollment, and so the challenge is figuring out, do we want to just have open enrollment and just have a funnel that consistently pushes people in, or do we want to continue to have that private feel of, hey, you better get in now, or it's going to close down. You're not going to be able to get in until the next time we open it, which could be in 3 or 4 months. And by that time, you could have missed out on a whole lot of, So that's kind of like a big challenge we have. But man, no matter what, for us, 5,000 people, 2,000 people, the fact that we're doing, 6 figures on a membership site alone it's just exciting to me and a success to me. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, and it sounds like you're helping a lot of people too. If they're interacting in Facebook like that, commenting on the videos, yeah, they're liking it, which is really cool. So you can feel great about that. It's like you said, you don't have to feel bad about selling, when the product's right. So let me ask you a little bit about your sales funnel. So tell me, because we started with the site, like they're in it. You mentioned the Ask method, like just kind of briefly walk us through your best strategy for getting members.
So clearly, man, one thing I said earlier was me being able to use webinars, as a huge grab. So we did a webinar with the influencer this past, January. Right whenever, well, still today's February 1st. So we did around second or third week of January when we had open enrollment. And honestly, I did not have a lot moving into the open enrollment. We didn't do a big launch. It was simply, we have a waiting list. So if I could show you, I'll go to the landing page for it. So this right here is the landing page, right? Not the landing page. So they go to oneuniversity.com right now. They get on the waiting list. Don't miss our next session. Sign up to be on the waiting list. Receive free training. So our funnel right now is, getting people on the waiting list, but as well, whenever we do open enrollment, we have webinars that we use as a huge enrollment for the One University. But then also we have a quiz that we created using the Ask method that basically pumps thousands of leads, preparing them. And then we nurture them because they're low quality leads coming in through that quiz. And we nurture them for about a good few weeks or about a month or so with some very highly engaging content, to really prove to them that we can help them on their journey of singleness and to marriage. And then from there, we push them into the webinar, right? So we bring them to the quiz, we engage them with emails, then we get ready for a big webinar, and that's when we push them into the webinar. And then on a webinar, we sell them the membership on the One University. So that's kind of one of our major funnels that is very successful. Like I said, this past one we did between the waiting list, Facebook ads, and our just the quiz funnel, we had over 5,000 people sign up for the webinar. We had 2,400 on live, and we ended up converting right around 8%, which, is membership site, so it's a bit challenging, a lot of a new audience. But what we did was we only sold year membership, and we didn't give an option for monthly because we really wanted to push people to commit to it. So we pushed a 147 1 year, right? And we ended up doing $26K for the 1 year memberships. But then on the back end, for those who did not take the 1 year membership on the webinar live, we didn't put them in a sequence to get the monthly. Basically saying, hey, we saw you didn't do a lot. We saw you didn't commit for a year. Guess what? I went ahead and made some changes, and we're going to get you in at the monthly. Here's our monthly cost. You can now go in there, no risk, and you can be able to. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we're seeing so many people choose a monthly, but then not be able to fulfill that commitment because their cars are declining. So our thing is, if we can get you to pay for 6 months or a year up front, man, that's game. And it's better for our community because you're more committed for an entire year versus I'm not sure if I want to stay in this for 2 more months or 3 more months or whatever. So that's kind of that was like our game for the webinar and for the funnel getting people in.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I was going to ask you to kind of explain a little bit more of that, but you did. And so I really appreciate that, because I think a lot of people listening, they see the success and they hear about the success, but they're just like, okay, so what did you do? You know what I mean? But that's pretty concrete. What you said is pretty concrete. So I appreciate that. So let's jump ahead a little bit. What would let's say you were starting the membership site over, knowing what you know now, what might you do differently?
Well, great question, Michael, because I'm getting ready to do another one. I will be actually taking the same framework and using it for my entrepreneurship arm of our business that I'm launching. And so basically there will be 7 stages to a 6-figure online business, right? And so for me, I've been already processing, okay, as I get ready to, do this, what would I do different? Number one change I would make is I definitely would not try to do all of the content, before I launch. I would definitely go ahead and just do, maybe, half of it first, and definitely drip. I would definitely drip it to really make people have to wait. They can't consume it all at one time. They can't just go through it as they're finishing it, but they have to wait according to a specific timeline in order to make sure that they're remaining anticipate. Their anticipation is high. So I definitely would, not stress out about having all the content done. I definitely would cause them to drip in order for them to have to go through it on a specific timeline as they get into the platform. And then as well, number 3, man, for me, I don't know if I have anything else that's on my mind that I would do different. We do so many things so well that I know I'll be able to duplicate or in our new platform. With the entrepreneurs. I'm excited because I have something that's living and breathing to show them that we've been able to do and create. So I know that it's going to be just as an electric community as my relationship niche.
Yeah. And I mean, Andrew was saying a little bit before the call, we've seen a lot of people do that kind of thing and just take off with it. So I'm sure you're going to kill it. So that makes sense as far as basically, you do less of the content earlier. Is that just because it's less work, or do you feel like you're going to learn something to create the second half of the content? What's the thought process behind those 2 changes?
Definitely less work, so you can be able to get it out to market quicker. We took 3 months to film the content. I can only imagine if we would have just, taken a month to get the first bit done and then released it and then built it out as we went. That would have made us an extra $40,000 to $50,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, that would have been a great, way versus us waiting, because we already had the nurtured audience. So I think less work, but there's no strategy behind because the content that we have in there is great and it's solid. But I just wonder if we would have spent more time, on the marketing and then, or building up leads or something like that versus all the time we spent doing all the content. But it's great because all the content's done, so we don't have to worry about that. It's a win-win, I would do.
Yeah, it kind of cuts both ways, because I've done it both ways too. And it's kind of nice to have the content ready when you do the launch, because then you can just manage sales and you're not doing double duty, like making content for the lead members and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because it can be stressful, but I also understand, sell the minimum viable product and, see what happens from there. So what advice would you give people generally? So anybody looking at this who's either running or thinking about starting a membership site, what, advice would you give them?
Absolutely. I definitely say if you're considering it, it is one of the greatest tools to being able to build a sustainable business. And I am so grateful for membership sites, because not only has it changed our life and personally being able to now, break the 6-figure barrier in our business, and now going into possibly grossing over $1 million this year, and this being a sustainable revenue. So I now have the capital to fund all my other projects, because I know I have this money coming in every month. So I definitely encourage you to jump in and do it. But this is what I would say before you do it. Make sure you have some partner or someone that you can trust that can help you to build it out right? And do it with a framework that's trusted. Make sure you have an end goal in mind for your audience, that you know where you're trying to take them, so that you can sell them on where you're going to take them, and not just simply all the other features of your membership site. Oh, I'm going to have 40 videos. It's going to be, we're going to have this every week, this every week, this every week. They really don't care about that. They really simply care about, where are you taking me? And can you successfully do it? What does that roadmap look like? And then once they get in, all the other bells and whistles are it's going to be icing on the cake for you and for your audience. And they will stay a lot longer because you over delivered. We didn't sell people on our weekly themes. We sold them on the journey. And then all the other stuff it's just icing on the cake. If you're considering starting, I definitely say put a lot of energy into nurturing your audience now. Don't wait. Nurture. So whenever they get positioned to go deep with you, they need to care about you as a whether you're a founder, whether you're a blogger, whether you're a business owner, whatever you are, they need to care about you. So make sure you nurture them and you involve them in your journey. And that will make your selling the membership site so much easier, because you can say, hey, I'm going to be a part of this. I'm in this, right? And they'll be like, wow, since you're there, this is a way for me to get closer to you. It's cool, right? So that's a key thing that we've done for ours. If you're in a niche that supports that, right? And so, but if you're in the one that's managing it, and let's say you don't have as many people inside as you would like for it to, like to be inside. My encouragement to you, for you managers, as I have it, and you're trying to get more people, is to really dial into how well do you know who your membership site is for, right? So my thing to you would be to really go in and survey and get to know your current members and find out why they're in, what's winning them, what won them over to get inside. And then you go after and find those people that are looking for that, and use that same language, to be able to persuade people to get in. And so that right there is the key factor, because you may not have the formula yet to knowing exactly what people are looking for. But there's some people, if you got at least 20 people inside, you did something right for those 20. So take those 20 and go find out how you can go find the hundreds of more that are like that 20. So that's my encouragement to you managers. Man, I just say continue to put in. Don't think that it's not for you, because I guarantee you this is a people business, and every business that I know involves people. And so this is why it could work for you.
Dude, that's perfect. Sage advice for somebody who's not been doing this too long. Obviously, you're very successful, so that shows. So Jamal, you've been really, generous with your time and your energy and showing us stuff and your information. Why don't you just take a second and tell people, if you have anything you want to tell everybody about, either for the marriage business, or it sounds like you might even be able to help them with their membership sites. What do you got going on? How can they connect with you? What can we do for you?
Sure. So, I at a point in my business where I'm learning that I have a responsibility for other entrepreneurs, and so if you're an entrepreneur out there and you relate to my journey, whether it be me having going from, pastoring ministry to now where I'm at today, and you get where I'm at and you relate to my journey, my story, I definitely invite you to continue to get to know me. You can find me on Facebook, Jamal Miller. You can just follow me there. But as well, I do have I threw out there a opt-in. You can be able to get on my entrepreneurship list. In the next few months, I'll be getting ready to launch a membership site for entrepreneurs, teaching them all the different tools and streams of businesses we've created, from our webinars that we can do, thousands of dollars on in one night, to the membership site, to our programs, to our conferences. We do online conferences, virtual summits, 2 every year. This year, we're projecting over $600,000 just from our virtual summits alone. So I'm pretty well versed in some different arms of business. So whether you are from virtual summits to webinars, to a membership site, to simply just building a successful blog, I can help, man. But I will say it's one of those things where I don't have anything formally created yet. But what you can do is you can go to if you want to connect with me and dial into me, actually, I'll be doing a free webinar next week on webinars, right? How to do webinars. And webinars has been such a key tool. I'll be going to find the anatomy of a 6-figure webinar. All right, the anatomy of a 6-figure webinar. I'll be breaking down how I use the same framework for every one of our webinars. The same, we used one presentation, one PowerPoint. It's not it, but it's another one. Every week for an entire year. That's how we built our email list to over 50,000 people in 1 year. We used the same webinar every week, and we were able to build our business to where it is today. So that's something that I can tell you I am very, very, very knowledge in. And so, but if you want to dial into me, this is the link you can go to, tiny.cc/six-figure-tools. What I'm going to give you for free is the tools we use to run our six-figure business. You know, what do we use for webinars? What do we use for email marketing? What do we use for landing page? What are the tools we use to be able to run our business? And this right here will give you the opportunity to now get into my world, because I will see you as serious, and then I'll take you into the next arm of our business, of being able to, just walk with you through this process. So get on that list, and that right there will show me that you're ready to take this thing to the next level, whether you are a business owner that's trying to get 6 figures, or you're trying to go from 6 to 7, and you're using membership sites to be that next level for your business. Let's do it.
Beautiful. And everybody listening, I am confident, that you can feel Jamal's energy and his excitement and all that. And so definitely connect with him. We're going to put some stuff under the video so that you can find his links and figure out how to connect with him on Facebook. But yeah, if you like what you've heard and you want to learn more about that, connect with him, because it sounds like he's going to teach, membership sites, webinars, all these different things, and help you achieve the success he's achieved. So Jamal, I just want to thank you again for your time and your generosity and sharing. And I'm sure we'll be on another call like this again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you and all that you've been able to contribute to the membership site world. And MemberVM is just, I appreciate it, man. And it's amazing. So how everything connects, and then also being able to serve us Infusionsoft folks and making it easier for us to run our businesses. So thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.